All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon, and in this video, we're going to be in the 135-pound division where there is, and 130-pound division where there is some beefing going on. Terence Crawford calls for peace between the top-ranked blacks. First term ever used. Let's talk about Terence Crawford said to Shakur Stevenson. Shakur Carrington will also be discussed in this video, as well as Abdullah Mason and Keyshawn Davis. We got a lot of beefs going on all of a sudden. Let's talk about that in this video.
No, you want to know what it is with Shakur? I'm going to tell you. To him, boxing is something intimate, where he just wants to touch a man over and over and over again. He doesn't want to hurt him. He doesn't want him to run away because he's afraid to lose somebody that actually wants him, you know? And to him, it's a very intimate thing where he could just continuously touch a man. He does not care to hurt you. He doesn't want to hurt you because he has no hurt in his heart. To him, it's just something very intimate.
All right, welcome back to the channel, man. The playbook is out. You're doing it too much. I finally caught on, and now I'm going to have a good time going through these very teenagerish like beefs that have been going on in boxing for the last couple years, but seem to be ramping up in pace. This particular time, you got an old school fighter being pulled into it with a younger fighter and an up and coming fighter, all kind of beefing in a row. Could this have anything to do with the new marketing strategies going on in boxing? I don't know, but let's examine it. Before I go into that, though, let me welcome you back to the channel. Hey, please subscribe. Please share the video. Thank you to everybody that supports in the super chats, in the super thanks and videos like this. Shout out to Barbara D. Shout out to my Matty O. And shout out to everybody else who supports the channel on a regular basis. But let's get into this. So let's first go through a conversation that took place on Twitter today. So let's start with a communication that was made by Terence Crawford. Terence Crawford said, Shakur Stevenson and B. Carrington, which is Shakur Carrington, can we all just get along? Just so you could figure out, I tried to figure out exactly what he was talking about. So he had to go back and then I was alerted to the beef that is going on between Shakur Stevenson, who is the 135-pound WBC champion, and Shakur Carrington, who is though he is 27 years old, the same age as Shakur Stevenson, he only has 9 bouts. However, he has, I think, 3 10-rounders in his last 3 fights have been 10-rounders. And he's had 3 KOs in 3 10-round fights. So I think he's advanced along pretty quick. Obviously, because he's an older fighter, turned pro a little bit later, obviously with only 9 fights. But the last 3 fights he's fought people whose combined record was 81-9-1. So they get into a beef. And what was it about? Shakur Stevenson tweeted, F all she said, where was them ninjas on my top? Them ninjas was in Vegas talking crazy through they podcast. F-U-C-K them ninjas. And that was in response to a tweet where it said, "You still ain't stood up, Dolo, so don't say that he came to your rescue because they was on your top." I don't know what the heck that was about, but we'll just continue to the relevant portions. F y'all Negroes, I've been outside for real. When you see me, I don't talk taco with nobody. If you got an issue about what I said, come see me. All right, so he's obviously talking about some type of beef with somebody he had in Las Vegas, right? So after that, though, Shakur expounds and says, "Oh yeah, and then you got goofy ASS fighters like Shushu that y'all be gassing up. This ninja is older than me. He haven't fought for a title yet. Haven't stepped up his level of competition. Top Rank finding him the worst available opponents in IGGA. If you really like that, go fight Adebek or Rubasi. You can't effing talk. You are behind schedule. You effing prospect. Better ask your coach about me, ninja." And Shushu, for his part, says, "I think they mad because my New York Ninjas Mace and Cam dragged his ASS on the podcast. Now he hate the whole of New York, and I happen to catch a stray, smacking his face. All in all, though, good drama. All in all, good pass of the buck. You have Terence Crawford, who is the Hall of Fame level fighter, who has his Instagram presence and Twitter presence. And he responds to and amplifies a beef started by Shakur Stevenson with Shushu Carrington, both of which who are top ranked fighters. Now, I'm not saying that this back and forth between these people are not real. I do think, however, that people are just like the art of pugilism. What it's all about is financially profiting off of people fighting. Boxing, if you're Terence Crawford. So, hey, man, now you have a much more interactive way to conversate and talk and get the attention of boxing fans. I have to say I've officially changed my mind. I think we are in a technological age where this type of stuff is what is going to be driving a lot of the ticket sales in boxing at arenas. Now, I don't know whether or not it's going to pay off in big television ratings or whether it's going to pay off in big pay-per-views because, there's a lot of, it seems like there's a cap on boxing a little bit because there's a limited number of really great fighters. Who the network decides to feature, I think, really affects the growth of boxing and the sales of the pay-per-views. And I think certain organizations are better suited and to get to the larger audience outside of really hardcore boxing fans. But I think the ticket sales for fight events is driven very heavily by hardcore boxing fans and people that really want to see. That's who's going to go see Jaron Ennis in Philadelphia. That's who's going to see Shakur Stevenson in Newark, New Jersey. That's who's going to see Devin Haney out there in San Francisco, where he had a good gait, or Errol Spence Jr. in Errol Spence might be a little bit different because that is Texas is a little bit bigger. But you get my point, man, that this type of conversation, and Errol Spence had it going on with sparring rumors and video, and the interviews that he was doing out on Instagram, out on YouTube. These guys have taken YouTube content, going to YouTube content creators channels to a new level. You have them now doing tweeting like every 5 seconds, so they're in your ear all the time. And I think that's what this is. But I'm happy that it's happening because, hey, man, that's more press. That's more good press for Shushu Carrington. And Shushu shouldn't be too mad. Matter of fact, there's also some strays getting caught between at Top Rank, also including Abdullah Mason and Keyshawn Davis are doing the same thing, right? I think Keyshawn Davis said something about Abdullah Mason, because, man, you know, Abdullah Mason's name is really growing, man. He's, of all the people that fought on the, man, what card was Abdullah on, man? Abdullah Mason was he was on the Shakur Stevenson card. Since the Shakur Stevenson card wasn't that exciting, man, Abdullah Mason really took off, and maybe it made Keyshawn Davis feel a certain way. But anyway, Battle of the Black top-ranked fighters and all of their synthetic beefs. However, man, it's all worth it, man. It's all fun. And I'm starting to, you know, be a little less of an old grumpy man about it, because as I actually read them, it's kind of interesting. Anyway, that's my take on the matter. Please let me know what you think in the comment section. And with that, I'm out. Deuces.